Hey everyone, in this video I'll be demonstrating the activity from this week's Summer STEAM Kit, available here at Salmon Public Library. In honor of this year's summer reading theme, Imagine Your Story, each kit will introduce a new creative technique for bringing your stories to life. We'll provide the materials and instructions, you supply the creative genius. You may also want help from an adult or older sibling for parts of some projects. Alright, let's check out what's in this week's kit. This week we'll be taking the classic fairy tales we know and love and turning them on their heads. We'll be mixing characters from different stories, experimenting with different settings, and adding in some elements we don't typically see in the fairy tale universe. But it's not just the stories themselves that are going to change. We're going to take our fractured fairy tales and present them comic book style. We've included a few items to help get you started. First, we have our instruction sheet, which will guide you throughout the project. Then we have our fairy tale generator, which will help you decide what classic and not so classic fairy tale elements to include in your story. We have our large blue comic book template where you'll be drawing your comic. We've also included two sweet sets of stickers, one of speech and thought balloons and one colorful set of action stickers that you can use throughout your comic. And finally, you'll find two fine line markers that you can use to finalize your drawing. All right, let's get started. Our first step is to use the fractured fairy tale generator to help us come up with some ideas for our story. If you already have a great idea, feel free to skip this step, but this can be a fun way to come up with some new stuff to add. On the generator, you should see 4 lists: characters, settings, magic objects, and problems. You should choose one or more items from each list to include in your story. You can either simply choose them, or you can enjoy a bit more of a creative challenge by drawing items at random. If this is what you'd like to do, cut along the dashed lines so that each item is on its own individual slip of paper. Place the items from each list into a separate container. Then draw one item from each container. I pulled Hansel and Gretel, outer space, a bowl of porridge, and a hungry monster. All right, so these are what's going to get us started for our story, but remember, you can always choose other items or add new elements into your story as you create the narrative. Now it's time to do some brainstorming and come up with the outline for our story. You can use the lines on the back of the instruction sheet to write down your thoughts. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want to give some idea of what's going to happen in your comic before you start drawing. The most important part is that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I'm going to be writing my story about how Hansel and Gretel take off in their family's space pod, but then they crash land on a mysterious planet with edible flowers and trees. But then it turns out there's a hungry monster that lives on the planet, and he is super not happy that they've been eating his trees. So then they have to find a way to stop him with nothing but a selection of freeze-dried porridge they find on the spaceship. So they take the porridge and they mix it with the substance from the mysterious plant and they catapult it into the monster's mouth, and that knocks him out. And then they escape. All right, I think I'm ready to start drawing. This template includes different boxes or frames where you can capture each moment of your story. You can use the frames as they are or divide them up into smaller spaces for a more detailed story. It's a good idea to start off by drawing things in pencil so that you have the power to go back and change things if you make a mistake. Once you're happy with it, trace over your pencil lines with a fine line marker like the ones we included in your kit. Now use markers or colored pencils to color it in. Use the included stickers to show characters' thoughts and feelings and to help create a comic book vibe. Once you're done, don't forget to take a photo of your amazing project. If you share this photo with us, you can earn an extra ticket for the summer reading raffle. There are 3 different ways you can do this. 1, have a parent share the photo on Facebook or Instagram and tag Salmon Public Library. 2, email the photo to salmonlibrary1@gmail.com. Or 3, bring the photo into the library and show us. Whatever method you choose, be sure to check in at the library by this date in order to claim your bonus ticket. Thanks so much for watching. We can't wait to see your awesome project.